Alright guys, sorry for the delay on the videos, but as you can imagine, racing is in full swing. I'm kind of focused on that right now, not so much on making videos, but I know a couple guys were curious on how the racing has gone, how the results are, and as you can see on this page here, the results have been phenomenal, at least for me. For those of you not racing, may not understand how, what it is to compete, against guys that have the time and the money and the families of birds that they've built over the years, compared to myself, where I work full time, have a small family that I'm raising, and it's tough to be at that point. But as you can see here, 11 lofts, 566 birds, and I came in 17th. I was third loft, 17th place, and I was 3 minutes behind the first place bird. I mean, for me, that is a win. It might not be first place, guys, but unfortunately, I can't explain the magnitude that these two guys carry, the first and the second place guy, amongst others that are down the list, which I won't go over. But these guys are at their top of their game. To come even close to their performance is an achievement. And again, some of you guys may know them, most of you guys probably don't, and don't really understand what it is to come even close to some of these guys. So for me to be 3 minutes behind with everything I have on my plate, I consider that a win. Other than winning the race, that's pretty darn good. Here's another race we had. This is a 200. And you can see the same two guys, Tony and Warren Sessick. And if I scroll down just a bit, I'm third loft. I did drop a few spots down to 45, and I was about 12 minutes behind on this race. But again, third loft to get birds out of 531 birds. Can't really argue with that. These guys did put a lot of birds ahead of me. I believe each one put 22 birds before I got my first. So they had large group drops, which I did not. I had a single bird come in, and then I believe within a couple minutes, I had a third bird come in. Let's see, yeah, 67th, that was my second bird, and it was about 4 minutes behind my first bird. But again, like I said earlier, it's hard to compete against guys who have developed a family of pigeons for 10, 20, 30, 40 years maybe, I'm not sure. And they have all the time. They're retired. They have all the time to really invest in their birds, invest in the time needed to train them, and of course, invest in obtaining super pigeons. But I'm happy with what I did so far. You guys have followed along on my training. You can see I didn't really take them crazily. I did jump them quite aggressively because I was falling behind. I did miss the first race, and I wanted to catch up on the 160, so I jumped them on training pretty aggressively. But we did super. I mean, like I said, I can't argue. For those of you who are racing, can truly understand. For those who are not, you may not see this as a good result due to the fact that I didn't win, but I assure you guys, if you guys were racing, you would understand what I mean and how hard it is to compete against some of these guys. For this 17th place bird, for instance, came down so hard. When it landed on the top of the aviary, I thought at first it was injured. I thought maybe a hawk got it. The bird couldn't walk. It started to limp. I mean, it flew. I don't think it had another 10 miles in it. That's how hard that bird flew when it came down. I mean, just wings sagging, barely walking to the pad to scan. That bird gave it its all. And looking at the bird, when it came in, it was a third round baby. It was still finishing up the molt. Had 9 flights on each wing. And to achieve that level of performance, I mean, that's a bird I'm going to keep my eye out. Only because I was there and I was able to witness how aggressively that bird came down. I mean, nothing was stopping that bird from coming home. And on that same race, I had multiple birds come home, which looked like seaweed on the side of their beaks. So they must have stopped for water at some point. But this is some of the largest groups of pigeons I've had to race against, 566 birds. And this would be my third year racing. The largest number of pigeons I've ever had to race against. So to come 17th, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty proud with that, guys. So hopefully the racing continues. We did miss out on our race this week due to bad weather. So we'll catch them up again in the following week on a 250, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, if the results are just as good, I'll take you guys along with me. I mean, if anybody's curious, you can always just go to Pigeon Mall and look at the results yourself. I mean, we're under SMCC. Just pigeonmall.com, and SMCC is my club. Once you click on that, it'll show you the race results or the races that we've been involved in. And I think I ran across this before, then you can see my performance. It's up to you guys if you guys want to follow along. Like I said, I do this for, obviously, because I enjoy it. Not so much to brag or to sell pigeons or anything of that nature. It's just purely because I enjoy it. And I know a couple of you guys were asking how we did. We did super. I can't argue with that. You know, again, not much more I can say, guys. This is it. We'll see how the next race goes. If you guys follow along, that's awesome. If not, maybe I'll post something. Nonetheless, we'll see you on the next one, guys.